The mansion was silent. Too silent. Then suddenly, Aya! A sharp scream tore through the air. Sophia, the new maid, almost dropped the tray in her hands. A maid beside her whispered, "Not again." Another shook her head. "No nanny lasts more than 2 weeks here. Billionaire ka beta hai. Bilkul control main nahi atta." On the top floor lived Michael King. Autistic. Overwhelmed. Misunderstood. His father, Robert King, was a billionaire. He could buy anything: doctors, therapists, top nannies. But he could not buy peace for his son. "Fix him," Robert always said. "I don't care what it costs. Just make the screaming stop." That day, Sophia had arrived in a small, old taxi. Simple clothes. Worn shoes. A second-hand bag. Poor background. Big heart. Head housekeeper Evelyn walked fast down the hallway. "Rules are simple," she snapped. "Call him Mr. King. Don't touch his son. Don't try to be smart. Just clean." As they passed a big white door, they heard another scream. Then something heavy hit the floor. "That's Michael," Evelyn said coldly. "Stay away if you like your job." The door suddenly opened. Robert stood there. Expensive suit. Angry, tired eyes. "Where is his therapist?" he barked. Evelyn pointed behind her. "New maid, sir. Sophia." Robert gave Sophia one quick, cold look. Poor girl. Nothing special. "Just don't get in the way," he said and turned back. For 1 second, before the door closed, Sophia saw inside. A boy in the corner. Hands over his ears. TV flashing. Fan spinning wildly. Lights too bright. Noise. So much noise. He didn't look like a bad child. He looked like a drowning one. Sophia's heart squeezed. She remembered her autistic little brother John back home. No money. No doctors. Just family trying to understand him. Evelyn tugged her sleeve. "Come on." But Sophia's feet didn't move. "Have you ever felt like, if I walk away now, I'll regret it forever?" Her hand moved to the doorknob. She took a deep breath. And slowly turned it. "Sophia, what are you doing?" Evelyn hissed behind her. But Sophia had already slipped inside the room. Michael screamed again, curled in the corner, hands over his ears. Robert spun around. "I told you to stay out. He'll throw something at you." Sophia raised her hands slightly. "I won't touch him, sir. Just give me 1 minute. Please." Robert scoffed. "You think you know more than specialists?" "No," she said softly. "But I know what it looks like when someone's world is too loud." She didn't go to Michael first. She went to the TV. Click. Black screen. Then she turned off the ceiling fan. The harsh whirring stopped. She pulled the curtains halfway. The light became softer, warmer. The room changed from attack to almost gentle. Michael's screams dropped from sharp to shaky. His breathing still heavy, but slower. Robert stared, confused. "What are you doing?" "Taking away what's hurting him," she whispered, "before asking him to behave." She knelt down, a few feet away from the boy. Not too close. "Michael," she said calmly, "my name is Sophia. I won't touch you. I won't shout." He didn't answer, but he flinched less. His eyes flickered toward something on the floor. A small crystal ball, catching the little bit of light. Gently, Sophia reached for it. She lifted it slowly, so he could see, and tilted it. Colors danced on the wall. Blue, green, red. Michael's crying softened. His hands moved a little away from his ears. His eyes followed the moving lights. "That's it," she murmured. "Just watch the colors. You're safe." For the first time, he really looked at her. Right into her eyes. Robert's voice dropped. "He never looks at anyone like that." Sophia smiled softly. "Thank you, Michael," she whispered. For looking at me. She placed the crystal on the carpet between them. If you want it, she said, you can come and take it. I'll stay right here. Slowly, Michael crawled forward. Took the crystal. He didn't scream. He didn't hit. He just breathed. From the door, Evelyn watched, arms crossed. Oh, this poor maid thinks she's special now, she muttered. But deep inside, she was shocked too. Because in a room full of money, experts and fear, the only person who calmed the billionaire's son was the girl everyone thought didn't matter. At that moment, none of them knew. This was only the beginning. Next morning, the kitchen was full of whispers. You heard, one maid said. That new girl calmed him, another answered. No screaming for almost an hour. That's impossible. He broke a nanny's arm last month. Evelyn snorted. Coincidence. She'll fail like the rest. Rich people's kids are not for village maids. Sophia walked in quietly, carrying plates. The moment she entered, the talking stopped. Evelyn looked her up and down. Don't get overconfident, she said. You're still just staff. Don't forget your place. Sophia swallowed the insult. Being poor meant, do the work. Take the blame. Stay small. But upstairs, a child needed her more than her ego needed to answer back. She carried breakfast to Michael's room. Inside, he was lining up his toy trains in a perfect row. The crystal ball lay next to him. Robert stood by the window, phone in hand. He hung up and turned to Sophia. What exactly did you do yesterday? Sophia set the tray down. I didn't fix him, sir. I just made the room hurt him less. He doesn't need softness, Robert said sharply. He needs discipline. Structure. He needs safety first, she replied gently. If your skin was on fire, would rules help? Or water? He frowned. Then something surprising happened. Michael walked past his father and stood near Sophia. Not touching, but close. Like she was a safe corner. Robert noticed. He doesn't even come near me, he muttered, a hint of pain in his voice. He's not rejecting you, Sophia said softly. He just trusts who listens. Later, when Robert left for a meeting, Sophia sat with Michael on the floor. She pulled out small hand-drawn picture cards from her bag. A plate, for hungry. Hands over ears, for too loud. A bed, tired. A heart, I like this. A quiet room, break. She laid them out in front of him. You don't have to scream to be heard, she told him. Just show me one of these. I'll understand. Okay. His small fingers hesitated, then touched the too loud card. Sophia smiled. Good job, she whispered. Thank you for telling me. From the security room, Robert watched the camera feed. Where did she learn that? He asked himself. The answer would hurt him more than he expected. That evening, Evelyn pulled Sophia aside. Tonight there's a big investor dinner, she said. If that boy screams in front of them, it'll ruin everything. Keep him out of sight. Understood. Sophia frowned. He's not a stain to hide, ma'am. He's his son. Rich people don't think like you, Evelyn snapped. Downstairs, staff prepared crystal glasses, expensive food, perfect decor. Upstairs, a boy sat with a crystal in his hand. And a maid trying to give him a voice. And somewhere between those two worlds, a billionaire would have to decide what mattered more. His image, or his child. Sophia knelt in front of Michael. The sounds from downstairs floated up faintly. Plates, footsteps, distant music. Tonight there will be many people, she explained, showing him the picture card with people and music. It might be loud. It might feel scary. Michael stared at the cards. If it's too much, she continued, pointing to the too loud and break cards, you can show me this. I'll take you back to the quiet room. You're not trapped. You're in control. Control. a word no one had ever given him. He looked at her, then at the door. Then, slowly, he picked up the card with people, and a heart. He wanted to try. Robert appeared at the door, wearing a perfect suit, but his face looked tense. "Is this really necessary?" he asked. "If he screams in front of them." "If we respect his limits," Sophia said gently, "he might surprise you. If we push him just to look normal, for people who don't care about him, he will break." Robert looked at his son, then at the maid, then at his own trembling hand. "Okay," he said finally. "We'll do it your way." At 8 o'clock, the mansion glowed with light. Rich guests laughed. Glasses clinked. The pianist played softly. When Robert entered the hall, all eyes turned to him. But what shocked them wasn't the billionaire. It was the little boy holding his hand. Michael. Headphones around his neck. Not on yet. Crystal clutched tightly in his fist. Whispers started. "Is that his son? I heard he has problems. Why bring him here?" Sophia stayed near the back wall, watching every small movement of the boy. At first, he did okay. He stuck close to his father, eyes on the crystal, breathing carefully. Then the room got louder. A waiter dropped a fork. Someone laughed too sharply. Music swelled for a moment. Michael's body stiffened. His hands began to shake. He dropped the crystal. It hit the floor and rolled. His breathing turned fast, shallow. His eyes darted around. The world was too big again. Sophia moved instantly. She reached him just as his mouth opened to scream. "Michael," she whispered urgently, kneeling in front of him. "Look at me." She gently put the headphones over his ears. The noise dulled. "Remember the cards?" she asked, touching her bag. "You can tell me." His hand trembled as he reached out. He fumbled for the "too loud" card. She nodded. "Okay. You did it right. I'm proud of you." From the front, some guests stared, half judging, half curious. And then, one guest stood up. A woman in a sleek black dress, calm eyes, powerful presence. Emma Lee, the main investor. She began walking straight toward them. Robert's heart sank. If she judged them now, if she walked away now, the deal, the project, his reputation, all of it could fall apart in one moment. Emma stopped in front of them. Robert straightened, ready to apologize, to explain, to fix. "I'm sorry," he began quickly. "My son is autistic. If he's disturbing." Emma raised a hand gently. "Why are you apologizing?" she asked. "For having a child?" The room went quiet. She turned her attention to Michael. She didn't touch him. She didn't lean too close. She just lowered herself to his eye level. "Hi," she said softly. "I'm Emma. I like robots and books. What do you like?" Michael stared at her. His breathing was still heavy, but calmer. He looked at Sophia. She gave him a small nod. "It's okay." He swallowed. Trains, he whispered. "And stars." Sophia's eyes filled. He was talking. In front of everyone. Emma smiled. "Trains and stars? So, space trains." A tiny flicker of a smile touched his lips. Sophia quietly slipped one of his toy trains into his hand. He held it up, showing Emma. "Fast," he said softly. "In the sky." Emma laughed gently. "You have a brilliant imagination." She looked at Sophia. "You helped him do this?" Sophia shook her head. "He did it himself. I just made the world a little quieter." Emma turned to Robert. "You know," she said, "I invest in companies that build a better future. But I also invest in people who see kids like your son as different, not damaged. That maid of yours? She sees him. Really sees him." Robert looked at Sophia differently now. Not as a poor girl in an old uniform. but as the one person who opened a door he never knew how to touch. That night, after the guests left and the lights dimmed, the mansion felt softer. Robert found Sophia in the hallway. "I spent years trying to fix my son," he admitted quietly. "Doctors, programs, anger. But you listened." Sophia shook her head. "I had an autistic brother. We didn't have money, but we learned to notice small things. His patterns, his fears, his joys." Robert's eyes darkened. "What happened to him?" She looked down. "We couldn't afford the hospital when he got sick." Silence. "I want to fund a center," Robert said suddenly. "For kids like Michael. A place where parents learn what you did. A place where no child is called broken because they're different." She blinked, shocked. "Sir. And I want you involved," he added. "Not just as a maid. As someone whose heart understands what money can't buy." Later, in his room, Michael sat on his bed. Headphones around his neck. Crystal on his nightstand. Toy trains lined up carefully. Sophia came to say goodnight. He picked up one of the picture cards she made, the one with the heart, and held it up. She felt her chest ache. "I love you too, Michael," she whispered. Because that's what he was really saying. When the world was too loud, you made it safe. At the end of everything, the billionaire realized something. The most valuable person in his house wasn't the richest guest at his party. It was the poor maid, who treated his autistic son like a whole human being. AAP Bateo. Backhand index pointing right. Kia Hamari Society truly unbashon ko samajan ki koshish kardi hi jo denaya ko alag tariq isi feel kardi hain? Yafur hum surf unhain normal dikana chot hain talk humian comfortable age? Apni sok, experience, story comments main zaroer share karo. Ho sok da hi apka comment ji shi ko pali dafa samja hua, mesus karwada. Broken heart sparkles.